Can we be honest and say we live in the 21st century? So if you have a child or multiple children, I feel like you made that choice because you wanted to be a parent. Why are there so many people talking out the side of their neck with this new movement that no one cares about, saying that, like, mothers, they usually always come from moms, because fathers, men always get a scapegoat. They always get to skate away from whatever fuckery they didn't help create. But why do you have all these people trying to make it seem like parents are sad about their decision to have children? Like no one tied you down and impregnated you. Like if they did, then you have a case. You could have gotten an abortion, or you probably need to be going to the police department to press charges, because that's called rape. So you were raped, and yeah. But the majority of us, I feel, willingly laid down, willingly got pregnant, willingly decided to keep the baby because we wanted to be a parent, and then we willingly gave birth and willingly raised the child, and some of us even willingly went on to do that all over again and again and again and again. So the people who I feel are online crying about being a parent, saying they don't like it, is giving postpartum depression, because majority of the times when I see those videos, the baby is like a baby, like little, and it's usually like their only child. And what makes me sadder about this, as a huge mental health advocate, I feel like they're being exploited for someone else's benefit, someone else's agenda. So the Childfree community will use their free time that they have, because they're not raising any children, to find videos of a mother who's clearly going through PPD, postpartum depression, if you don't know what that acronym means. And they will exploit her suffering to support their agenda as to why they didn't have children. No one sees a problem with this. So I liken this child-free movement to the movement of black males dating outside their race. And you may wonder, how the hell did you go from there to there? Because I feel as though people who choose to not have children, I'm so happy for you. I love that for you. That is the beauty of being an American, is that we can have choice, right? Like, we have the freedom to pick and choose whatever life we want, and who we want in our lives, and what we want to create. That's the beauty of being an American. I don't know why you need to put down people who are parents because you chose not to have any offspring. I don't understand why those two things need to correlate together. And it reminds me of black males when they're jumping across the fence to go date outside their race. If anyone asked them, we all know for 2 decades we've had to sit and listen to black males online put down black women as to why they're dating a non-black woman. I don't even don't even know where to go with that. It's just like, why do I need to be included in your rhetoric, in your explanation as to why you're dating outside your race? Because you're basically assuming that all black women are the same monolith. We are all the same exact person, archetype, stereotype, whatever you want to call it. They're basically saying we're all the same people. All these billions of black women, we're all one person. We have the same personality, the same thoughts, the same goals, the same dreams, the same accomplishments, the same everything. Everything is the same. That's what black guys are saying. But in reality, I feel like if you're happy with your choice to not date black women, then don't use us as a reason why you're dating Becky and Ling Lee and whomever else you're choosing to date. What do I have to do with your dating preference? Like, literally not thinking about you at all. Living my life, dating, marrying, procreating, working, minding my business, buying land, whatever I'm doing myself. What do I have to do with Tyrone wanting to date Becky? And that's how I feel the child-free community. I'm like, why are people bringing me into another situation that I didn't ask about? Like, I just like, and of course, this is what's so sad as well. This is what we mean by like being a womanist, being a black woman, not a feminist, or very specifically saying black feminism is like a whole different thing. Because I feel like we are getting it from like all sides. But the funny thing is, I'm starting to see, well, not really, it's not really happening, but I see more like non-black guys speaking out saying they want to date black women exclusively. That's the only group they prefer to date. But they don't really put down their white woman or their non-black woman, whatever race of guy is saying that, or ethnicity or nationality, whatever. They're never putting down their group of women, but to some degree they kind of are. But they don't do it as directly as black males do, like with the disparaging, derogatory, degrading comments. Non-black guys don't do that. They'll just say, I love black women because they're warm, they're kind, they are so loyal, they're beautiful, etc., etc. And you can take that as indirectly putting down their group of women or whoever they don't want to date, because obviously if they're saying black women have these attributes, then they're basically saying that the other groups don't. But that's indirectly, and that's left to be up to interpretation. But I'm going to have a voice because I feel like there's not enough parents speaking out to this movement, and I'm kind of getting concerned because it can be very dangerous for parents and our children. I see people be really violent about what they want to do to parents or children, and I feel like that says more about them than it does about the parents and the children who are minding their business. It's like I feel like this is falling under first world problems. Like if America can't find something, a real struggle, we just create struggle that nobody asked about. Like no one cares that you don't have kids. No one cares. Literally nobody cares. I know for me, I'm so busy with my life, I could care less. And I feel like the way that they've been attacking parents, it's time for parents to push back. There's a lot of things I want to speak on that I'm going to just start saying, because I've been trying to be nice and not say what I want to say for a lot of reasons. One, because I know some people who don't have children, it's because they can't have children. And I feel like we're getting that vitriol from those people, those childless / child-free people, because they're really angry that they've won. Maybe they didn't find the right partner, or they can't have children, just something's wrong biologically where they cannot have kids or whatever. And it's like, let me attack the parents because I'm low-key jealous of them for getting to have children. So there's that group. Then you have the group that don't like kids. Okay, like, it's weird because I'm like, you were a kid once, so you missed out. You didn't like yourself. And so that tells me a lot about you. It means you don't love yourself. People who don't want to recreate themselves or just hate something that they used to be, that's self-hate to me. I don't really understand. Like, even if you don't want children for yourself for whatever reason, you shouldn't be targeting the child. Like, it should be more like, I was raped, or I went through some traumatic event where, or my mother and my father, usually it's going to be the mom because everybody blames the mom for everything. But like, if you say like my mom was a narcissist or my father was an asshole or whatever, I don't feel like I had a great example of what a good parent should be, then I'm going to opt out of being a parent. I could rock with that way better than someone saying like, oh, kids suck, they're this, they're that. They're just children, and you were that you were that child once. That's the conversation no one's having, is that you were that child. You were the annoying child, and you probably are internalizing your hatred for children because nobody liked you when you were a kid because you were annoying. So okay, so yeah. So I just want to speak for mothers and parents out there who actually are happy that we chose to have children. We were so happy with our choice that we did it multiple times. And some of us are really living our best lives. That's about to be a whole other video of people who think because you have children, your life is over, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Like, something as simple as like vacationing. People think like parents can't vacation, apparently. Or like it's like, you know, my mother said this once when I was younger because she felt this way about her own parenthood. But she was like, once you have children, your life is over. I literally decided I'm going to make my entire life be about how amazing it can be with children in it. My kids and I do so much shit together, and we have so much fun together, and they literally have brought me out of some of the darkest times ever, and they make me laugh on a daily basis. Their hugs are indescribable when I'm sad because yet another partner has let me down or whatever, like some guy I'm dating or was married to or whatever. My children have pulled me out of the depths of darkness every time. So they give me a purpose. I was single once, and all I wanted to do was be a mom. Like, I literally would just write their names down of my hypothetical kids in a notebook. I would put boys, and then I would put girls, and I would put a line down and just write all the different names in each list on each side of the paper. And I was just like obsessed with being a mommy, as a lot of women are. And so I guess I want to give another side of it. Like, once you are a mommy, is it all it's cracked up to be? You know, it's kind of like people who just want to be married so badly, and then they get married and they're like, this sucks. So, you know, I think that some people can have children and be like, ugh, like, what was I thinking? Because you won't know if you're going to like it until you do it, of course. Unless you've been around other people and their children, and you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't want that. But I always tell people, like, you having nieces and nephews is not the same. Or you being like a godmom or godfather or whatever is not the same. Because you can send the kids back. You don't have the same level of responsibility as parents do. So you hanging out with that kid is totally different from like a parent having to literally keep that kid alive like 24/7. Like, make sure they're not doing stuff to harm themselves, making sure they're eating, they have the right clothes and food and shelter, and then on top of that, having to raise them to be a citizen of the world, a person of the world who people actually like and don't hate, or, you know, someone who's like growing up to not be a total like psycho or something who harms others. So you have a big burden on your shoulders when you are a guardian slash parent of another human being. So I always love to feel child free or childless people. I like to gather them up and remind them like it's not the same, because I was childless once and I was watching my cousins and nieces, whoever, and it just will never be the same thing. Never. You just don't have that responsibility on your shoulders like the parents have. So, but with responsibility comes great reward. Like just like you have your children and people blame you for all the wrong things, you also get the credit for all the good things as well. And that's being a leader. That's what being a leader is. You're willing to take on the good and the bad. You don't run from your responsibilities. But with that being said, people pretending that our culture does not affect all children, like our children, our people, our adults, whomever, they're full of crap. Like, come on. Reality TV, the music, magazines, all that junk that's like in our heads programming us, even the indoctrination of being in public school for 13 years, all of that stuff is constantly brainwashing people. So I don't know why when children are bad and they run off and they want to like commit crimes or do stupid stuff, like everyone just thinks like, oh, it's the parents' fault. Lock the parents up. That's like this new thing that I do think is very dangerous. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, lock the parents up. Like, why are we getting locked up with our kids? Because they're bad. And it's like nobody wants to take responsibility in how fucked up this country is. I can't speak for other countries, but America like has like no morals and no values. Like things that used to be censored when I was a kid, it's like anything goes now. I don't even listen to certain things around my children because I don't want them to be tainted with America's dark, decrepit culture of just disgustingness when it comes to music, etc. And the same people who try to blame parents, they're the same ones that are totally supporting the bad culture that is permeating all of our society. And they won't want to take accountability of that. So you're assuming that a parent is just sitting there having kids and not wanting to raise them. Like, why do we even have them? But if you go ahead and say, okay, they say they are raising their children, they're actually doing the work. I would love for everyone to comment below who actually listened to everything their parent ever said when they were a teenager, let's say from babyhood to teenager, and especially as an adult once you hit 18. But when you get that fun, just tell me, like, were you ever breaking the rules and not listening to your parents? Like, how many times did your parents tell you to do something and you rebelled and you were grown and you did what you wanted to do anyway, and you learned your lesson the hard way? But I would love to hear from people who can say, I never went against what my parents said. My parents were doing their best to raise me up right, and I was grown and I did what I wanted to do anyway. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's stop pretending, hiding behind your computers and saying that we all were perfect angels when we were teenagers, especially. We know damn good and well. Stop it. And people want to blame parents while we're like struggling to raise these kids. We're also working because we had to pay for our children because it's government. No one gives you a dime, partly to like take care of your kids. And so, and people say that's not their job to. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's not your job to help me raise my children. We don't need to be in a social society where you care about other human beings. But then you want my child to respect you. You want my child to grow up and work for you. You want my child to go to war for you. You want my child to pay into a social security system so your old ass can retire. So, yeah, let's all pretend that parents and children are separate from everything. We're all separate, and we don't affect each other in any way, shape, or form. Let's all pretend that's like a thing, right? So, yeah, it's not. But anyways, like just like Me having children may affect you. You not having children is affecting me. Let me give an example. Like if you're a teacher, and a lot of times my children's teachers, especially like the kindergarten teachers, for some reason they're like young or whatever, they don't have any kids, and it shows. Like the way that they complain about things that a typical 5-year-old would be doing, I'm just like, is this your first year being a teacher? Because you have no clue what is normal and what is not. Forget that you went to school for like 13 years of college. Like, I mean like higher level school, not even like regular school, but like you go to college for a long time, I think, to be a teacher. Apparently, like, you cannot learn everything out of a book because they go into classrooms and they're whining about this, whining about that. And then you have to remember there's also different cultures. So if you're not even like the same race as this child, your culture is probably very different. So the things that you think are a problem are normal for that culture and vice versa. So yeah, it's like, I just feel like if you were a parent, you get it. You know, like if you were like were a parent of more than one child, you get it. Because even people with just like one child are so clueless. But sometimes they're just, it's like you don't have to grow up really when you just have one kid. You really don't. You get to be somewhat still irresponsible because it's not that hard to like raise one kid. I actually kind of laugh when I see people like one child trying to like act like their whole world is coming down. I'm just like, what is going on with you? I'm a black woman in America, and you're just gonna, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just gonna have to really pull yourself up by the bootstraps and put your big girl, big boy panties on and slash whitey tighty undies and get over yourself. Like, it's, you literally just have like one kid. I can't understand it. So anyways, I didn't want to have this video be too long, so I'm probably going to chop this up. But I did want to have a say in speaking out about a lot of things that I have knowledge of, because I just feel like at this point it's like an echo chamber. I feel like I'm hearing from the same people. Nobody has kids. They're talking out the side of their ass, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? That's not reality. That's not my reality. That's not reality, period. And people who can just talk. Like, just because they have a lot of followers, people start to take their word as gospel, and it's not. And then I just see a lot of things that could be dangerous in the way things are going right now. Because some of the people I can think off the top of my head who are some of the biggest influencers, none of them have children. And they say the stupidest shit. And I'm just like, no, that's not true. And, yeah, so I think I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to speak my mind and say my thoughts and speak my truth. And it is going to ruffle some feathers, and you're going to be okay, because I feel like there should be balance, and we should not just be hearing from one side all the time. And another thing I'm concerned about is the mother's mental health, because usually if you look at the data, majority of the times the people taking care of the children are single moms. We're by ourselves. And so we take the brunt of all this complaining from black males, especially, saying like everything's a single mother's fault. Then now you have single women with no kids saying everything's a single mother's fault. Like, we already have a hard job as it is. We don't need to hear from everybody telling us about ourselves, or like trying to make us feel bad for our choices. I don't feel bad for my choice, but you know, there's going to be some pushback, because it's like, you're not telling the whole story. Keep it real. Like, and then I think the main thing that I'm worried about is I see mothers who are regretting their decisions to have children because they're listening to people who don't have children. Of course, their view is going to be not the same as yours because they don't have children. So I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, this is going to be more of a positive pro-children channel. It's not going to be anti-kids, because America's anti-family, anti-kids. And so it breeds a lot of people who are anti-family, anti-kids. And this is going to be my universe. Like, this is my life that I'm living, and it does not mirror anyone else's life out there. It just doesn't. It doesn't. the stuff people were talking about, like, it doesn't apply to me. It just, a lot of it doesn't. So I'm like, I can't be the only woman, black woman out here who is loving life and living a soft life, who's a single mother and doesn't regret her choice. Like, I can't be the only one out here that's doing that. So yeah, I don't know. And I don't really go through comments. Like, you all can, I'll try to read them, but I think for my own sanity and also for my time, because time is money and I'm a boss, like a real boss, so I'm usually working on so many different things that you may not hear back from me. But go off, honey. Like, go all the way off. Have your discussions in the comments. I always keep my comment sections open. And I don't really believe in, like, censoring people. Like, I want to hear from people, or maybe other people want to hear from you. Like, you all can talk to each other even if you don't hear from me, because I am, like I said, I do usually have a lot of other projects going on at one time. So yeah, do you. That's all I can say. Just do you, boo. Yeah, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.